Alright,
You ready?
whenever you guys are ready.
Okay. Alright, we're ready. So, imagine, right, you're in a state football game, right? State championship game, and we're in Illinois. It's freezing cold outside, 82 degrees outside. And basically, you're the star player of the team. Everybody looks to you for the ball. Everybody counts you for the ball. It's fourth and 10, and it's the last play of the game. And basically, your coach comes to you. You're getting the ball. You need this ball to win the game. So guess what? You go to the ref. You check out you're on the line. You run your route. You drop the ball. Do you know why you drop the ball? Because you weren't thinking about catching the ball. You weren't thinking about your team. You're thinking about your feet. Your freezing cold feet. Because it's negative 2 degrees outside, and you weren't thinking of the ball. So yeah, we are a product called Temp, and we are the best heating cold solution for you. Plug in. Okay.
Should be gone. Oh.
Okay. So I'm the CMO. I'm Samuel Winnie.
I'm the CEO, AG Gonzalez.
I'm the CEO, Nicholas Casino.
I'm the CFO, Anand Shiranda.
Okay.
Should be good.
And I want to give a special thanks to Ms. Ecker, the person who helped us with our product, Ms. Largo, who helped us contact our company, Applehead, our mentor, Tim Troutman. I'm sorry he couldn't be here today. He had a lot of business trips, Mr. Kinnaid, and the Outlet CTO, Mark Hartman.
So the main problem that we're trying to solve is that athletes have a huge problem with their feet being too hot or too cold when they're in their cleats. The turf is a lot hotter than normal ground, so when you're running around on turf as a football player, your feet get hot and you get blisters, and it's just not fun. But with our product, we're here to help keep your feet at a regulated temperature so that you're not too hot or too cold. Our main target market is high school athletes, outdoor mainly, football, lacrosse, baseball, soccer, tennis, stuff like that. Our unique value proposition is we are a company with very few competitors. We have 2 main competitors in our market. Not many insoles can heat and cool, and if they do, then they're extremely expensive. The insoles are comfortable, and they also reduce the sweat production from your feet, so that with the wicked material that we use.
So for market size, according to NFHS, we found that there are 8 million high school student athletes who play outdoor sports in the U.S. And we found that from Mr. Eric, I can't pronounce his name, Mr. Eric, that there are 4,401 total student athletes in District 211. Yeah, so it's a very big market size, and this is what we can use to grow. And this is our BMC. Everything that you really need to know, our key metrics, our cost structure, such as the outlet material, $20 per yard, the sewing machine, yeah, all of it is here. And our testers, we have our own Mr. Kinnaid here that tested the product. He and his lacrosse team tested around like 10 of our products. Yeah, and we got results with the money you gave us.
So now we move on to our competitors, which is kind of interesting because, like how Nick said earlier, that we only really have 2 big competitors. That's Blue Soul and Dr. Scholl's. Blue Soul is a company that has a insole that goes into cleats for athletes that can cool your feet, but it doesn't do the heating part. It only cools. And then Dr. Scholl's, we said it's kind of like a competitor to us because we're trying to also have a comfort into our shoes or into our insoles, so it's not only it's like uncomfortable, then also heating and cooling. So we said that they are also a direct competitor to us. Indoor competitors will be Nike, Adidas, Under Armour, Champion. Because they have these like Under Armour's compression stuff like that to regulate your body temperature, and they also have like shoes and stuff like that for just for athletic like wear and stuff like that.
So for our capital ask, here our costs are like split up so that you can see like why we need the money we need. For our costs and the like outclass material, the sewing machine, the packaging, insoles, I did a heck of a lot of calculations and found that it costs like $2.92 to make the 2 insoles that for 1 unit, and the gross profit is $27, so it's like over 90%. Yeah, and by using a lot of other like key metrics and minimum wage, we found that the SG&A, service general and administrative costs, would be around $9.49, making our operating profit $17.59, which is 58.6%. And our net income / net loss, so this is our first 3 years. As you can see, our money is growing.
So with our MVP experiment, as you see on the picture on the right, which is this right here, you could, if you want to touch it, kind of feel the material, like what we're doing. So that was our first prototype that we got. It all started when Dr. Largo emailed Outlast trying to get into contact with somebody who could help us out. We're very thankful that they sent out these 2 big rolls of material that we didn't know exactly like how to work with them. And so that was the first thing that we came up with. We're filling around the material and we're working with our sewing teacher, Miss Ecker, and we kind of came up with that idea of like the learning system of the material. And then we started testing them, and for us, we didn't know how to test it exactly. So we started off with just putting them into your insole and feeling if the person who's using them feels any warmer in a colder temperature. And we didn't get the results that we wanted due to the fact that when we were on the call with the CTO of Outlast, he told us that your body doesn't feel temperature change, or your body doesn't feel temperature, it feels temperature change. So that the way that they measured it is that they used, they weighed the shoe and the insole before use, and then after activities, they weighed it again and see if like there was a reduced, like how much sweat happened and like the average between the 2. So then now since we like know that, we're gonna do our own testing. They found that using the Outlast material than the insole, that you're sweating 50% less than you would if you didn't have it. So, and that's also based off of each person is different how their body wants to adapt, and where they feel like if your hands are cold, they want your hands to try to adapt to the temperature around. So that was an average number between different people that they tested. But we will also want our own numbers, so we're going to test, as you saw before, the 10 competitors in a different way that we did last time, and instead of trying to see the temperature change, try to see if we can find the the sweat reduction.
This is our website. Actually, we're gonna have to use it. You wanna scroll through it? So this is the website for Temptos. It's not fully operational yet because the shop option isn't open because we haven't completely finished getting data for the product. But we have the home here where you can subscribe at the for a form at the bottom if you want to see any new updates that come onto the website or like deals and stuff like that. We have our shop here where you could just see like a pricing that we want to try and go for, which is $24.99 for a shoe insole, $32.99 for a boot insole, and $20.99 for a cleat insole. The about page isn't completely done yet, but here is a little help center that tells you about what kind of payment options there are, if you can pre-order the sale items, or what our return policy is. And here's our contact options. So we have a Twitter and Instagram that you can contact us through at the moment. We also have an email that you can contact us through. It has the location of where we're out of right now, which is the high school. And it's also got another way for you to contact us here through a message on the website.
To go further into detail on the sizing, because I know it's going to be important due to like the material usage and stuff in that nature. When it comes to cleats, cleats are sized differently. They might be more narrow than other normal shoes. So what we're going to do is we're going to get a huge list of all these different cleats that we can find and try to put them on a list inside of the inside of our store when under cleats. And so you could choose a cleat and you can have the best fit that you can for that for your cleat. And then for boots and shoes, we have just normal sizing cutouts, and we shape and we'll make the insole.
Yeah, that's our problem.
Thank you guys.
Good
job.
Round of applause.
Okay, just real quick, and I'm just gonna make a comment. Your website, right? So if I'm a potential customer, the most important thing to me, not to you, is going to be, how does this thing work? So you're gonna have to explain to me how this thing works and what makes it better than everything else that's out there, and why is it that I'm gonna go ahead and buy it, right? So don't tell me like in your FAQs about how to pay for it, because that's about you, right? That's how you're gonna collect my money. So I wanna get really excited about your product, and I wanna know why this thing's gonna kick it out of the park. So I think you've got a good concept in that, you know, that is a problem, right? It's a legitimate problem. People do get cold, especially out on the football field when it's, you know, November, and it's freezing out, right? Or they're really super hot too, because they might be indoors, or they're on AstroTurf or whatever you want to call it, right? So I think the concept itself is really good. There's probably maybe a different way of explaining it. Now, do you have a different product there that we didn't see?
So this isn't a product, but this is kind of like the
material.
material. So that's
It's the material and
Gotcha.
the layering that we're gonna use.
Okay.
So it's got our black layer here.
Yeah.
It's also got our white layer, and that's just the insole here. These are the
Right.
two materials that do the heating and cooling.
Okay.
So in lieu of that, you know, we've talked, 'cause I work with you guys a little bit on this, right? You gotta sell me on the sizzle. And the sizzle would be, maybe you got something hot, right? That you can't hold in your hand, and you put it on here, and you can hold it. Or same thing on the cold side, because the believability, you know, my concern is, doesn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a really great point,
yeah.
right? I mean, it's almost like a pad, right?
Yeah, I
Of
mean-
some sort. Now, this felt to me like it was cold, you know, and I kind of like that, right? And I think it would warm up if I put like my body temperature on for a while, and I think it would be pretty cool. There's no reason why you couldn't have taken something like this with this and have her sew the whole thing. So this exact like prototype,
Yeah.
this isn't gonna do it for me, because I kept thinking, is this, you're just putting this in your, you know, I know it's a small one.
Yeah, it's just half of the insole.
Yeah, but it wouldn't have taken much at all to go ahead and put a whole insole together and sew
They
the
did
whole
have a
thing.
whole insole.
Yeah, we have a whole insole. I'm not sure where. It might be in your cleat still, right?
I think that I still have one. I thought you guys were maybe gonna bring one of them. I do have
wanted
one,
to-
and
we
it actually
wanted to
did
show
feel
the
like.
Because I was a little
Yeah.
confused by this. I was like, well, do they just put it in the top of the
Yeah,
shoe or something?
oh no,
So
yeah.
basically, our new prototype is that we're gonna double layer the white, and so, and we're gonna case it in black. So that way, right now,
Yeah.
it kind of
Leave
looks
it there.
like this.
Yeah.
Leave it there.
But-
Yeah, leave it there.
But that's gonna be our point, cause, you know, the outlet CTO,
Yeah.
is like to go get the most effective out of the use,
Yeah.
we need to double layer on the white.
Okay. And then you had, you've got credibility in that you've got a user right here, right?
Yeah.
I would have liked to have seen some testimonials.
Mhm.
I'd have liked, you know, I saw AJ Bertoncini up there. You know, I'd like to see like what are some of these people that used your product and what is it they said about it.
Yeah.
And again, that's third-party credibility. It's not you telling me it's great; it's somebody else telling me it's great,
For sure.
and then I may believe it's great, right?
Sure.
And the sweat thing, I'm not buying. that you remeasure the sweat or the weight of the product because of the sweat in the shoe.
That was the
The
what's it
heat
called?
side of it, you know, if I'm wearing it for heat, I'm not sweating, my feet are cold, right?
For sure.
Yeah, you got a guy that his feet always get cold, so
Right.
he would've, he's gonna buy this product if it works,
For sure.
you know.
So you gotta convince me that way.
Like I said,
And then, you know, I don't know about the numbers on there. Kinda questioning that a little bit.
Yeah, you had a $30 price, and then I thought I saw like a cost of $2.92.
Yeah, that's actually a high bulb.
Okay, but if you go back to that again, that slide, it was a little confusing because, and that, you know, your market too was like, I thought I saw the number 8 million.
That's for total.
Okay, and then I saw 4,000 because your
Okay.
target is gonna.
That's our
District
beginning
211.
that's our
market.
district.
Okay,
Just,
gotcha.
just in this district, there's 4,400 people that are outdoor athletes that we're gonna market to.
And that's an actual number, not in like just rounded up.
How are you gonna market to them?
Just going to different like lacrosse tournaments or football games and trying to market to some of the athletes on the field. We all have some connections through playing the sports as well as through our coaches to be able to, you know, go after some of the other teams and try and market to them and try and see if they'd like to, you know, try out our product or purchase our product after we're out of the prototype phase.
Coming more from a manufacturing type side of the world versus, you know, the soft cost kind of thing of the internet. The cost of goods being $2.92 out of 30, I question, but.
Well, do I explain?
Yeah,
Sure.
go ahead.
Or like the Outlast material, like let me show you. This entire thing is $20.
Yeah.
So, and then I just did a lot of like calculations and stuff, and then yeah.
So
and
the
then
labor
divided it-
side, let's just stop with that, that's your material cost, your labor side
Yeah, I just.
is a big chunk of those costs. So walk me through that, have you built one of these and who are you paying to do that?
We didn't
We
pay
didn't pay.
anybody. We're using a teacher at the school to help us at the moment, working on.
Okay, but to get to that level of
Yeah.
selling a lot of these, who's doing that?
I mean, I think that would just be something that we learn at first. We wouldn't wanna, we would put the work in ourselves and just, yeah. We'll be sewing them ourselves and making them all.
For a little while at least. Start off with working it as ourselves.
You know, and I get the fact that as an entrepreneur, your time isn't worth anything, but at some point, you're gonna have to hire people to do
Yeah,
this, right?
absolutely.
So, you know, that's something you need to factor in there, you're not gonna get it for free here, you know, and, you're probably gonna ship it overseas, cause you don't have the money to do that.
Yeah.
So it looks like there's 3 different materials in this, right? You got the insole, which is the cushy part, then you've got the material that keeps it cool or warm, and then you've got the outer portion, is that right? 3?
Yeah,
Yeah.
to go more into detail on that, so the white layer is the more effective layer,
Yep,
and it has, like, that's the one that you're gonna feel the most, that's where we're doubling up on it.
yep,
And the black layer is made to take all the all the cuts, all the movement, so that all the friction that's gonna take through playing sports. And then also on the insole, I don't know if you felt the top of the insole also has a wick wheel material.
yes.
So also just reduce the sweating, like, to even go further.
Okay.
And
Reduce
also
the
have
sweat
holes in it.
absorption.
So of these 3 different materials, which is the one that you think is like the greatest material that you have in this? Are they all 3 as important as the other ones?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
would say
definitely.
if we don't have one, it's
We don't
gonna-
have, we don't have a product.
They all 3 work off each other.
Is there any proprietary portion of this, your combination of the 3 materials? And what I mean by proprietary, I mean, is there some sort of like patentable product here? Or can anybody go ahead and do the same thing you guys are doing?
I mean,
You can't really get this
Yeah.
product that we have through just anybody because the Outlast technology has also worked with NASA and Tempur-Pedic.
Okay,
So they use this product in the astronaut suits,
okay,
and they don't just sell it directly out. They
Yeah.
sell it to small companies, and then those companies just
Yeah.
market with them,
Yeah.
and they use their name, and
Yeah.
See, you need to bring that up in your presentation.
Yeah, that's a sizzle, by the way.
Yeah.
Did you catch that? You know, that was really interesting that, in fact, astronauts use it.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
they also send it to people like overseas in other countries who. There was one company that Mark told us about that they go into the really cold waters and like try to clean out the waters, and like they have a suit that protects them from the water from being
Yeah.
cold. But then they also found that adding their material into the thing, having just like a line of it,
Yeah.
that they could regulate their body temperature and it keeps them safe.
That coming in the first 5 minutes would have made a huge difference in
Yeah.
getting our attention.
Yeah.
Those 2 items there.
Yeah.
The other thing I'd throw out, because this is being pieced together here, and you guys are doing the wind sprints, is this material gonna slide when you're putting it together, or how's it fastened?
We're gonna thread it through the
So it all together,
foam
yeah.
padding so it doesn't
Yeah.
slide as much.
Yeah.
That was just a first prototype, and we
Yeah.
wanted to cut it in half so we could show you guys the way.
Sure,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, I'm throwing it out there,
Yeah.
because that's how you get blisters if you're sliding
Yeah,
across
yeah,
the
so
road,
the
right?
seam on that was cut so that we could remove it so you could also see the white layer completely.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's completely sewed down.
Yeah. Remember, in the beginning, I was talking about how it has to be relatable to me, right? The first, your opening was state championship game. You're catching it's 4th and 10. I'm going to go ahead and catch this passer, and I've dropped it because my feet were cold, right? Not relatable. Number one is, how many people are going to be in a state championship game?
Yeah,
Very
that's-
few.
That's true.
How many, but now if you told me I could be like an astronaut, or there's something, like throw a sizzle in there, like change that opening a little bit and say, hey, have your feet ever been cold? How many people can relate to that?
For sure.
Everybody,
How many
you know?
people sitting there watching the state championship game whose feet are also
Yeah,
cold?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Right.
True.
Right? And how many people go to outside games? I don't want my feet cold either. And you know that the heat warmers, your hand warmers and your feet warmers, they really don't work so well. But this product
They
works.
only last for, a little while. This will last you.
Exactly.
a
And
good
that scuba
amount of
thing, like, hey man, how many people, I don't know, like if you're in cold water, and if you ever put a scuba suit on, and you feel how that the water gets inside the scuba suit, then your body warms the water, which stays warm because of the scuba material, right?
Yeah.
That's your concept here too, I feel. And it's the same thing with the Tempur-Pedic bed, and they're all like, I don't know if you watch like My Pillow commercials, they're
Yeah.
talking about keeping that even temperature. It's exactly right. It's right on. You guys are spot on. You just need to perfect it a little bit,
For sure.
like tweak it. And then to
Absolutely.
Tim's point about like pricing and what have you, I see it up there. I'm not super convinced either, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But you can make it convincible because you can actually go out there and do it a little bit more.
For sure.
And then your MVP, you went out, you tested it. Tell me what these guys are saying about it.
For sure.
Does it work? Did it work? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely felt it would have. It's better in a cooling situation, from what I felt. It was
Yeah.
very cold when I did put it in my shoes. It was an outside practice, probably 30 degrees outside, but I definitely felt it for about the first half hour, 45 minutes ish,
Yeah.
and then I felt my feet were fine. So
Yeah.
it was interesting. Yeah.
Testimonials is what that is.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's, when you
Yeah, I
have that,
mentioned that
blow
to
it
you
up on
guys.
the screen and here, just take a couple
Yeah.
flash, 10-second
Yeah.
little spots of people saying, hey, I did it, it worked.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What was the investment ask and the return?
Your capital ask, guys. So how much money do you need overall?
I don't know, just the thing with me.
$15,500.
How much?
No.
$15,500.
Okay, so where was that in your presentation anywhere?
No.
All right. So again, you'd have to go ahead and
Yeah,
change that up a
sure.
little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Good job.
All right. Thank you
Thank you
guys.
Very much.